Hey guys, so today we're going to be taking a little bit of a road trip. We're starting off here in Montreal, Quebec. We're going to be going by car. It's about a 4-hour drive before we reach to Charlevoix, Quebec, which is a very beautiful scenic area, just I think east of Quebec City. But before we get to Charlevoix, we're going to be stopping at Montmorency Falls, which is a very beautiful landmark around the Quebec City area. And we're also going to be going to the Massif des Charlevoix as well. So lots of stuff to see on this trip. On July 1st, it's Canada Day. So without further ado, let's get going on this little road trip. 3 hours and 267 kilometers later, we completed the first leg of our trip to arrive at Montmorency Falls. But just as a heads up, if you are planning on staying in Quebec City, it would also be convenient to schedule a visit to the Montmorency Falls, as it's just a 15-minute drive outside Quebec City. For the purposes of this video, we prefer to start off our day at the falls. Now, before entering the park, we were greeted by a very friendly gate attendant who collected the entry fee, which came to around $7 per adult or $3.70 if you are a resident of the province of Quebec. Tickets for entry and parking can also be purchased on their website, which I will leave a link to down in the description. Alright, so we finally arrived here at Montmorency Falls. I think it took us somewhere in the area of 3 hours just to get here. Let me just walk a little bit closer. Right at the corner. There it is. But we're gonna get a little bit closer. So I think for today, we're just gonna start from where we are right here and just maybe take the staircase all the way up to the top of the hill. And maybe we can get an interesting shot of the waterfall from there. Just outside the main lounge area, there were multiple tour buses dropping off visitors, and after doing a little bit of research, I found that guided tours could be booked online that could start from Quebec City as well as Montreal. So visiting the falls is also possible despite not having any access to a personal automobile. As we entered the main lounge area, we noticed it was a very high traffic spot as it serves as the starting point to tour the park. It also provided access to restrooms and a small kiosk that sold food items as well as other memorabilia. So there's the gondola system that you can get on, I think for a small fare, and it'll bring you all the way to the very top of the hill. But for us, we're just going to be taking that staircase.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it.
So here's the falls in all of its glory. And there's a very nice spot here for sitting, if you're interested in that. And you have a very nice view of the Montmorency Falls. There's a really nice breeze here as well. Instead of taking the cable car to the top of the waterfall, we opted for the challenge of climbing 487 steps to reach the plateau. And just to put this into perspective, and to my very own surprise, at 83 meters or 272 feet high, the Montmorency Falls is roughly 30 meters or 100 feet taller than the world-renowned Niagara Falls. So this is truly something majestic to see. Just as a fun fact, Should you ever decide to visit the Montmorency Falls during the winter season, you will have the opportunity to also witness a completely different scenery. With below freezing temperatures, the mist buildup from the falls condensates and accumulates at the foot of the falls, creating what looks like a loaf of bread, which is how the falls inherited its nickname, pain de sucre, which translates into English as sugar loaf. So when we finally arrived to the plateau, we saw that there was a lineup of tourists waiting to go ziplining across a 300-meter long cable that would essentially bring you to the other side of the waterfall, while also allowing you to view the falls from an epic perspective. Tickets for the ziplining activity can be purchased on site or booked online through their website. Links will also be provided below. This here looks like it's a beehive here. I don't want to get too close. Oh yeah, it is a beehive. But it's so strange that they just have this out in the open. Can I zoom in a bit on that? Yeah, that's a beehive. Look at that. I've never been stung before, so I don't know if I'm allergic, so I won't go any closer. Alright guys, so we just completed the full tour of the Montmorency Falls. It's only 1:30 in the afternoon, 29 degrees, still great weather. So what we want to do right now is head to Baie Saint Paul, which is a region in Charlevoix, Quebec. So this is supposed to be a very sort of nice, cute area. So let's go check it out for ourselves and see what we can find to do there.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. Yeah.
After an hour of driving through scenic mountains, we arrived at Baie Saint Paul, which is where we would be spending the night. But before checking into our hotel, we decided to quickly pass by the beach. While the weather was overcast, the views were spectacular nonetheless. With there currently being low tide and sunny weather being expected for tomorrow, we decided to cut our visit to the beach short and return for the next day. We then took the opportunity to head over to the hotel to make our check-in. Seeing as it was the Canada Day long weekend, and also a last-minute decision on our part to visit Baie Saint Paul, we were very lucky to snag a room at the La Muse Hostel. With the area being a highly touristic region, I would recommend making your hotel reservations in advance, especially during high season. Now, although we ended up paying a premium for our room, given it being a holiday and all, we were nothing short of happy to have spent the night at La Muse. The hotel had its own distinct character both inside and out. The staff was also very welcoming and helpful. The receptionist went out of her way to recommend things to do and places to eat. A little more on that later. The hotel was very clean and gave me the impression that it had been recently renovated. Our room was small but very cozy. It had every amenity necessary to make our stay a pleasant one. The room had climate control, free access to television, and let's not forget the all-important Wi-Fi connection. Even though the room wasn't the largest, the space was definitely functional, well optimized, while also maintaining a certain charm. Now, if you prefer the outdoors, then you will also appreciate the rooftop terrace that is nicely laced with ambient lighting and that really sets the mood to the outdoor deck, while also having a view of some of the surrounding mountains and architectural structures. It's to be noted as well that the outdoor parking is also included in the cost of your room. So after working up an appetite, we ventured out yet again to find a nice place to eat. Although we had the option to dine at the Hotel Bistro, we heard great things about Le Saint Pub, which was a restaurant and microbrewery. The restaurant was literally a few steps away from our hotel. There were long lineups outside the resto bar, but luckily we had made a reservation in advance, so we were quickly seated upon our arrival. While not being the biggest drinkers, we settled for the food menu of the restaurant. However, I can say that there were lots of interesting alcoholic beverages to explore. Now, if you ever visited the province of Quebec, you will know that everyone recommends trying a local dish called poutine. So, when in Quebec, you do as the Quebecers do. We ended up getting an order of wings and a classic poutine, despite there being other great burger and salad options as well. For the price, it absolutely did not disappoint, and as such, I would add Le Saint Pub to your list of places to visit during your stay here in Bay St. Paul. I will also leave a link to their website down below. The next morning, we decided to head out to the beach to take advantage of the improved weather. The hotel receptionist had recommended a super scenic route that we could take on foot that would also lead us to the beach. We were very happy that she made the suggestion because the landscapes we saw on the way were really impressive. So we continued to walk through the open field until we eventually arrived at the beach.
Oh, I never knew love would come and find me one day. Oh, I never knew that you would be the one headed my way. Yeah. Oh, you caught me off guard and you took me by surprise.
So we pretty much spent the entire day just lounging around at the beach. It was very nice. Because we went earlier in the morning, there wasn't as many people. So if you want to sort of have the more quiet space, then I would recommend getting to the beach a little bit earlier. Now, we are going to be headed back home to Montreal. It's going to be another 4-hour drive back home. So we need to hit the road. But if there's anything that I feel as though you should take away from this video, is the fact that the province of Quebec is a very beautiful and scenic region. And if you want to sort of discover and explore and sort of see the more rural parts of the province of Quebec, I feel as though this would be a very nice itinerary to start with. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully you found it useful. And I just want to say that if you did enjoy this content, please consider supporting the channel just by hitting the like and the subscribe button, and also by hitting the bell notification in the case that you want to be notified when I do upload new videos. So thank you once again for watching, and I hope to see you at the next video. But until then, take care for now.